recap, last week you guys saved Arnil of Breden while he was running for his life, being chased by some unknown figures, and you took him all the way to the guard tower, passing a skill challenge, where you met Mark and Sheila. And you were informed that the Royal Office of the Interrogator has been infiltrated. And so he needed mercenaries, basically, to go pick up this mage child that was somewhere southwest. He sent you... he gave you information of one of his informants and sent you off on your merry way. The next day when you went to pick up provisions at the marketplace, you saw everything was fairly bare, and heard about bandit raids all across the trade routes. Heading southwest, you came across a watchtower where there was a bit of a confrontation between the men sent by the Arch King and the men that were off the Prince, over who was going to man the toll booth. You met Rith, and you continued heading southwest to the village of Daushin. When you arrived at Daushin, half of you went to the tavern, the other half went to Antman's house, the Antman's house, where the Antman said there's no mage child in Daushin. So you decided to ask around the tavern, excuse me, and were mistaken for sex traffickers because you were offering gold for children. When you were given a place to stay next to the Antman's house, you stayed there. Half of you went sneaking around, where you were also caught. And then the villagers were absolutely convinced that you are sex traffickers. And you headed north. They gathered together, started going to Antman's house to demand to know why there are sex traffickers here. Callie ran out in the middle of the street and yelled at them, saying, "We're not sex traffickers, we're here for a mage child," which also caused a panic. And the Antman came out of his house, saying, vehemently denying there's a mage child, and while doing so, the back of his house exploded. And that's where we left off. So, you are standing in front of the Antman's house when the back of his house explodes with fire, and the entirety of the back of his house is now on fire. And a red-clad figure walks out of the house and looks at the Antman with fire basically coming out of his palms and says, "Antman, what's the mage child?" And he sees the four of you. Again, we're pretending that Nick is still Nick's character is here. So he sees the four of you standing in front of, and you're clad in armor. You have weapons, and you are at the head of this kind of mob trying to calm things down. A mob which is dispersed at this point, and he realizes that what he's looking at is people who are come for the mage child as well. And so he gathers all of his arcane energy and fires off a massive fireball right at your direction. Woo. And right as he does that, a black-clad figure jumps out from the crowd and throws his dagger right into the fireball. And as the tip of the dagger touches the fireball disappears into nothingness. And he lands right in front of you guys in a kind of Spider-Man superhero pose.
It's really bad for news.
Get the words right out of my mouth.
And he turns around, he looks at you, he just kind of looks at you guys over his shoulder, kind of scoffs, picks up his dagger, and jumps right at the red-clad figure who I think some of you identified as Siraculan of Aquini. the leader of the Mages Guild, the Fire Mages Guild. I need Callie, Thalrin, to roll a history check.
Damn. Oh, 14. That's not terrible.
Yes, you know that this black-clad figure, and I can show you the handout now. NPCs. This black-clad figure is known as Gillier of Elendor. And Gillier is a very famous Magente. Most likely, he's also here for the Mage Child. He looked at you and scoffed because he figured he could probably take you guys out after he's done with Saraculin. And so he and Saraculin, he dashes at Saraculin with his dagger in hand and begins to duel the very formidable mage. In the meantime, from the back of the house, come rushing out these 4 figures. 2 of them holding shields in their hand. One of them holding a bow, one of them holding a staff. Go ahead and put yourselves on the map wherever you think you would be, based on the story so far.
I was somewhere around here. The crowds behind us are dispersing, right?
Yeah, they're in a serious panic. They have no idea what is going on.
Also, we know that Sir Jilly is basically hostile to everyone, right?
Yes, right now it's a free-for-all.
Cool.
And these 4 figures come running out of the house from the no longer existent back. And you hear Saraculin yell at them, "I'll deal with the Magente. You deal with the royal interrogators." And we need to roll for initiative.
That was great.
I'm feeling very mediocre today.
Well, could be worse.
Oh, it could be a lot worse. The scout rolled a 4, so it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, I rolled a 4, but it doesn't look like I made it into the turn order.
You need to click on your token when you make the roll.
Right.
So go ahead and roll again.
Perfect.
Hey, you rolled a 4.
Roll.
I do like consistency.
Yeah. Nice.
You still go ahead of the scout, so. Alright, so you hear these guards, you hear these characters come running out of the door, and they hear Saraculin's order, and just nod to him, and they take up this formation. The first guard steps up to Callie, and let me find his character sheet real quick. And decides, and takes his spear, twirls it around, and jabs right at Callie's midsection. And while he was twirling it, he lost balance between his fingers, and the spear went straight up and landed in the ground head first. And so he had to pick it up, and he looks very embarrassed right now. All right, we are at Barrack.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna run up and smack someone. Actually, let me check this. Someone remind me what Searing Smite does.
Searing Smite.
Actually, I have the internet. I shall just use Google.
The next time you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, the attack deals an extra 1d6 damage to the target and sets them on fire. The fire goes out, the spell is ended.
Oh.
Might as well.
Okay.
That sounds anticlimactic.
Alright. So Barrack's Warhammer kind of just lights up with what seems to be divine fire as he just steps up and attempts to take a swing at this guard who unfortunately lost his spear. It's about to get a lot more unfortunate for him.
Ooh, nice. All right.
I am quite satisfied with that.
Yes.
The next damage roll too.
Those are some really nice damage rolls. As your hammer lights on fire, and you come up and you smack him right across the head, and you can see that all the hair on his head catch on fire. And between the force of the blow and the heat that is now being put on the brain, the man gets such a bad crack in the skull that he's just gone at this point. And you can hear
I consider that a good opening move.
just a little bit. Here's level 1 doing 16 damage. Have fun.
Much more effective than dropping the spear.
At which point, you hear the man with the bow shout out to the rest of them. He's just barking orders at them. He's telling them, "You attack him. You do this." And now it's the next guard's turn, who steps up, and he saw his brother in arms just get smacked to death in one attack. And so he turns his eyes on the assailant and decides he's going to go for him.
Yeah, Barrack's just going to look at him like, "What you should about that, lad?"
And he takes his spear and he jabs it forward, but you're just able to step out of the way. With your shield, it just kind of clanks off the side, and you're completely unharmed. Callie.
Alright. There is a not so nice gentleman in front of me. I'm going to just poke some holes in him.
That hits.
I can use my offhand to make another attack, right?
Okay.
I think so. I'll also poke at him feebly with a dagger.
And that is a miss. So the first attack goes past his shield and right to his shoulder, stabs him straight through, and you pull it right out, and he's got a giant gaping hole in his shoulder right now. The second attack, though, clanks into his armor. And you have to just kind of give it a little jiggle to pull it out, because it got stuck in some of the holes of the chainmail. Or the rings of the chainmail. Okay. It is now this skull-clad figure's turn. You see this figure who is wearing a skull on his head, and he decides, ooh, he's gonna be nasty. You see this arcane energy start trickling in his hand, and as it pulses, he flicks it to the scout, to the man with the bow, and the man with the bow now starts glimmering. With, he's glowing white, and you can see him smiling. Thilrin.
Is there any way for me to recognize a spell being cast?
Yes, use Arcana.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to figure out what the mage just cast. Probably something I don't know with my 8.
You know that it's a spell.
Or is it?
Alright, well, I will load a stone into my sling, move forward close enough to hurl at the mage.
Alright.
13 to hit.
And it clunks him right in the chest.
For 5 damage.
Nice. So he tries to use his staff to play baseball with it, but he misses, and it hits him right in the chest, and now he's got a really bad chest pain. He's coughing up a storm, and so you can tell he's in a pretty bad way. Alright, now it's the leader's turn, and he yells at his comrade saying, Do I gotta do everything myself? And his first attack, he takes at, he takes at Thilrin.
Okay.
Oh, wow, lucky. So his first attack, he loads up his bow and he shoots it and it whizzes right by your head.
Whew.
And he curses under his breath, and the second attack, he's going to take at Barrick. Does a 23 hit your AC?
Yes, it does.
For 9 piercing damage.
Ow!
Yikes.
And this arrow just goes straight through one of the rings in your plate and smashes right underneath your lung and between your stomach. So it's not hit anything really important, but you are not feeling good. Now this guard is dead, so we will remove him, and it is Barrick's turn.
Okay. How's the guy who just shot me looking?
Entirely unaffected.
Alright, I'm gonna try and Barrick is gonna try and finish off this this dude right in front of him. He's already been stabbed, so yeah. He brings his warhammer around and tries to smack him in the and I'm pretty sure that misses.
Yeah, it just clanks right against his shield, and he just smiles at you and looks back at his boss and says, "Say you ain't got to do everything by yourself." Alright, now it's this guard's turn, and he's going to look at the guy who just hit him, and he's going to go for it. Or tried to hit him. I might have to fudge this roll, guys. Please miss. Does a 17 hit your armor class?
Nope.
And it just clangs against your shield. His spear clangs against your shield. You push it away. And it is now Callie's turn.
Huh. I'm going to just leave my friends alone, and I would like to rage.
Alright.
Going to move behind this dude and stab him.
Okay. That definitely hits.
Nice.
And
9 damage.
as you move behind him, you stab him right in the gut. And you can feel the blood start oozing onto your hand as you pull the sword out.
The dagger in my offhand. Okay. The dagger in my offhand, I'm going to throw that at the archer. He appears to be the most dangerous currently.
So you still have movement left. You only moved 5 feet, so you can still move up to the archer.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm just going to throw this.
Okay,
If 19 hits him, he takes 4 damage.
nice. It is the middle of the night, but I am considering that the entire house being on fire. Makes everything a lot less.
Gives us some light to fight by.
Exactly. Alright, it is now the Acolyte's turn. And he is going to run up to the boss. And he's going to, his hand's going to go shimmering, and he's going to put it right at his wound where the dagger went in. And he's going to cure him. For all the damage, actually. You see the dagger clunk out, drop to the floor, and the hole just magically shore up. Thaelrin, it's your turn.
All right, so I see this cultist obviously healing the archer, so I'm going to fling another stone at the cultist.
Nice.
20.
That hits.
All right, for 4 damage.
And you take that sling, you put your bullet in it, you swing it around your head, let it go. It goes flying and hits the cultist right in the skull mask. And again, you hear a very familiar crack. And there's blood coming out from the front of his head, and he just drops to his knees and goes down.
Okay, and then I'm going to dash over around the corner of the Ampman house, take cover from the archer.
Alright, it is now the archer's turn.
Oh
no! Okay, so the archer sees the guy who just threw the dagger at him and takes a shot at him.
I'm still a woman, that's fine.
Does an 8 hit your armor class?
No, it does not.
And he goes whizzing right by his head. Let me roll another. And for the next one, your armor class is 14, right, Callie?
No, it's 16.
Oh, 16, okay. So, yeah, the blast definitely would have helped. He takes a shot at the guy who's hiding from him. Let me add the bless.
Oh, is that what that was? A bless?
So he rolled a 25. That comes down to a 20. Does a 20 hit your armor class?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you can see that. Oh wait, no. Is bless a concentration spell? I completely forgot to look this up.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. So the bless is down. So does a 18 hit your armor class?
Yes.
Okay. So, the archer just straight up pulls out his bow, lines it up, and goes smack right into your torso. For 6 damage.
Okay. Could you at least move the archer a little so it looks like he can shoot me around the corner? There, that'll do.
Yeah, sorry.
Not a problem. All right, down to 1 hit point. Doing good.
Great.
Makes you feel better. I'm at 2.
At this point, you hear, Callie, what's your passive perception?
Let me check. That's a 14.
Okay, so at this point you hear something in the room, in the house, and you look over, and the door is flung open, and there's this child being grappled by 3 men, and they've put a hood on him, and they're starting to pull him out from the back of the house where everything's on fire, but for some reason is not affecting them. And at the same time, you hear footsteps on the top of the roof as these 3 guys reveal themselves. And let me add them in initiative order.
Now would be an excellent time for Nick to show up and be the cavalry that saves us all.
Just stand there in the days, wake up and kill everybody.
Wow, they rolled 2 natural 20s. Okay, so the first guy comes running up. What he tries to do is use his because it's a 10-foot drop. He would take he would take damage if he tried to do that, just jumping down. So he uses his fingers and his arms to grab a hold off the edge of the roof, hang himself down, and then just drop down. Let's see if he can do that. Yep, and he can do that. So he lands down here. I will say that's his entire movement. And then he uses his dash action to run up to Callie. The next one does the same thing. And he actually fails, so he takes 1d6 damage. And he actually runs up to the archer, where the archer and Callie are. And it's the third bandit's turn. He does the same thing. He also fails. He just messes up his ankle a little bit. Okay. And he dropped down right in front of the archer, and he's going to go ahead and take a smack at him. Ooh, he crit.
Ooh.
Wow, he rolled 9 damage on the archer. Now, the archer takes that slash right across his right through his armor and right into his gut. And so you can see the blood kind of spilling out, and he's not looking very good right now. Barrick.
Okay. Does Barrick know who these new people are?
No.
Well, shit.
But they're attacking. They're attacking the others, so maybe they're here with Gilye.
Yeah, they're attacking the person that just shot me, so Barrick is going to try and help out, and probably very stupidly going to use his last spell slot for the day and try to touch him. Ow.
That is against AC, correct?
Yes.
That actually hits.
Nice.
Yay.
Whoo!
Holy shit, you such a stralala. 14 damage.
All right, so did you just with your hand, right? So your hand glows with that necrotic energy, and you touch him, and it fills his entire body with this black essence, and you can see him just trembling, and suddenly his heart just stops as it rots from the very inside, and he falls on the ground dead.
Yeah, Barrick just pulled a Bright Lord on him.
Alright, this guard is out of the order. Callie, it's your turn.
Stop interfering! I'm going to walk up to this guy and see if I can poke a neat hole into him.
Okay. Ooh, that definitely hits.
10 damage.
And you take your short sword and you carve out a nice little meat hole right where his heart should be. And he's gone.
Huh. He's gone. I don't have my dagger. I threw that away like an idiot. But could I punch the guy I just walked past?
Sure, it's a 1d10, 1d2 plus, and you make an attack roll, and then it's a 1d. It's just, what was it? Just your strength modifier, right? 1 plus your
Yeah, I
strength
think it's just
modifier.
1 plus your strength.
Right, 1 plus your strength.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick's here.
I can use dexterity for these or no?
If you can use what?
Dexterity for these attacks.
No, just your strength.
Alright, then. I rolled a 1. Just with the attack. Never.
Yeah,
So now I just
you try to punch him, and it goes straight over his head, and you do the little twirly thingy. Nick, go ahead and drop your character down and roll initiative for him. Or her, right? Is it a her or he? Yeah,
What's
you're
wrong?
muted, Nick.
Hello world.
Hello.
Hey!
Apologies for the tardiness. Had to take care of some stuff with my kid. But yeah, I also don't have a token for my character right now. So if you just go to the free token sets under like characters, just I think they have one with like a rapier. Second set that's called characters.
You should be able to drag it onto the mat anyway. You just get the default portrait.
That guy?
Sure, that'll work for now.
Okay.
All right, and all right, and anyone want to just give me a quick rundown of what's going on?
We are in the middle of a fight. The entirety of this house is on fire. And the mage child that you were sent to rescue is currently being abducted and dragged off.
He's not in the house, right?
He
many
is in the
people are-
house.
Okay. And who started the fire?
A mage named Siraculan Aquini. If you watched the link I sent you, he's the mage at the end of last episode.
All right.
So not us.
All right. And now I've got an initiative. Okay. 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 Can you just assign that token to me, please?
All right. All right, done.
Is that Bara? Bara? How are we saying that?
All right.
Bara. Okay.
Is it a man or a woman?
It is a man. So, just a quick rundown. My character is a bard from an artisans guild that was mostly like a family business with other people who married into it. The family had kind of innate magic abilities that we kept on the DL for a long time until that we were found out that we weren't just entertainers but also able to use magic, and so people came after us. We had to go into hiding, and now I stay close to big cities trying to get word of other people from my guild / family. And why am I not seeing my guy? I'm clicking on all these.
Since you weren't, you didn't select him when you did the initiative. Although I can add.
I'm trying to select my enemies as a select pool.
All right. You go right before Thailrin, so I'll just let you know.
All right, cool.
All right, Callie, you're up. Callie, you just finished your turn. The acolyte is dead. Yep, it's your turn, Barrow.
All right. Who are the bad guys here? How many of them are left standing?
There's only two, so there's this one and there's this one.
Okay, then I'm going to go after the closest one, and I am going to use. Yes. Mockery.
Okay. You need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. My DC is 14.
Oh, he makes it. Would you like to describe your insults, though?
Yes. Well, I attempt to magically infuse my words with, I guess I didn't focus hard enough on it because I was so busy trying to come up with a creative way to insult his ability to use a sword, and comment about that at the same time, implying that he was not able to satisfy women or fight.
All right, Thailrin, it is your turn.
Okay, Ollie will move out a bit here next to the tree. And are either of the two enemies still standing noticeably injured?
No, not noticeably.
Okay. Then I will use my trusty sling to try to fling a rock at that guy. Let's see how this goes. Oh, 22. That should hit for 4 damage.
So you take that sling and you throw it right past his shield into his shoulder, and it catches him right where the shoulder joint meets, right where the arm meets the shoulder, and he's a bit hurt right now.
And since I'm a tree-hugging wood elf, I'm going to hide behind the tree.
Okay.
Nice.
Alright, so it is this guy's turn. And somebody tried to stab him and somebody tried to insult him. and his lovemaking powers. So he's highly conflicted, but he decides he's going to go after the guy who tried to stab him, because sticks and stones can break my bones. And let's see. He rolls a crit.
Secretly being verbally degraded is his fetish.
Yeah, exactly. Callie, he takes that scimitar and he slashes it right across your waist. And the leather armor, or are you wearing armor right now?
Nope. No, I'm
Okay.
not.
So the clothes take the majority of it, but you still get a really big slash. And if it had been just a little bit closer, your guts would be hanging out right now. You take 11 points of damage.
Which is reduced to 5 because I am raging.
Ooh, yes.
Nice.
I'm just going to sneer at him.
Alright, so then it is the other bandit's turn, and he saw one guy just get entirely eviscerated by his heart rotting inside his own body. And he decides he wants none of that, and so he goes to the lady.
Oh.
And actually he's going to step right there. And he's going to use his scimitar on her, because he's a gentleman. Does a 13 hit? No, right?
No, it does not. I duck out of the way.
Nice. Okay, it is now Beric's turn.
Who really does not appreciate the guy's trying to gang up on the lady, and is just gonna run up here and try to smack this guy in the face with his warhammer, which is actually a +1, because I forgot to apply that earlier.
So you have dealt even more damage. Good to know. No.
Yes, so that is an 18. That is an 18 for 11 damage.
Yeah, he's dead.
Sweet.
That warhammer just sinks into his head and cracks all of the bones connecting the neck to the head, and you can see like his head is just a sack. It's like a sack where his head is only held together as part of his body by the skin. Otherwise, it would just roll away.
And then just to make it even better, he's just gonna stand right next to Callie, look at the guy who's trying to stab her, and just look kind of menacing.
Beric, what is your passive perception?
It is a 12.
Okay, so you see nothing. Callie,
Really should have taken proficiency.
on your turn, Callie, you see the boy is now on a horse, and they are getting ready to go. But if you tried north of here, but if you tried to run through that building, you would take tons and tons of hurt from that fire.
Decisions. I'm going to pick up a javelin and see if I can throw it through the partially destroyed building and aim for one of the horse's legs.
You will have disadvantage, and I will have you roll a d4, and if you hit, actually a d8. If you roll a 1, you will hit the girl.
Alright. So the D8 first, or
Just roll the attack first. With disadvantage.
14.
Okay, so that's a hit.
On whom? God damn it. Okay.
All right,
Fine.
good. So you hit the horse for 8 damage.
Just the 6 damage.
Oh, just
this
6
is
damage.
a ranged. Yeah. Forgot turning that off.
Okay, so you throw the javelin and it hits the horse right in its hind leg. The horse lets out a massive squeal as it's riding and starts to slow down. Thilrin.
Wait,
Yes.
I want to punch the guy.
Oh, okay. You want to punch the guy.
Punch.
11.
That's a hit.
Right. Then he takes 3 damage.
Nice. All right, Thilrin.
So have I noticed the horse at all? Did I see it, or did I hear it squeal?
No.
Or
No.
Okay.
Although from this distance and at this angle, you can now see. No, they're heading north. So the house is between you and them.
Yep. Okay. Then I'll step out from my cover. And looks like we just have the one guy left, so try my sling again. 23. I am rolling great today.
Nice.
Just 7 damage.
All right, he's dead. And again, that sling catches him on the head. You hear that very familiar crack, and he just drops to his ground, hemorrhaging inside the brain, and he is dead.
I don't know who made this sling, but I didn't pay nearly enough for it.
I think that's like the 4th or 5th person you've taken down with a sling.
I think so. I'm just gonna not use magic ever. I'm just gonna keep hitting people with my sling.
I suggest renaming yourself to David. And now we need to go find a giant.
So now 2 things happen here. One, Callie, you can see off the distance that the javelin was pulled out, and the figure riding the horse with the boy has pulled out a rod, and he touches it at the leg of the horse, and the horse's wounds all close up. And they ride off into the distance. As that happens, the entire house is on flames, and suddenly the wind picks up like crazy. And the flames start spiraling out of control and going everywhere. So this tree is on fire. This tree is on fire. The whole area around the house, the grass around the house is starting to catch on fire. And Hilda's house got caught with one of the embers. And Hilda's house is now starting to catch on fire. So that house that you guys are staying in, that house is catching on fire. With the wind as it is, and the flames as they are, the entire village will probably be on fire pretty soon. So while that is happening, you see Siraculan and Gilead fighting off in the distance. Siraculan is holding his gut, where he was presumably stabbed by Gilead's dagger. He pushes out his hand, and this magical crackling energy pushes Gilead back about 30 feet, and he takes off running. Gilead turns around, grabs his cloak, takes it off, and starts running towards the houses to try to put them off of, douse the flames by patting them down or something. You see villagers now running to the well. Let me take you to another map now. So there's a well right there. You see Gilead running to that. Well to wet his cloak. You see villagers running off to that well with buckets. The Ampman has put his wife out of flames. He's carrying her off to a safe distance, and he presumably will go help as well. and just the entire place is on fire at this point. So, what do you guys want to do?
Before my rage fades, I want to wrest one of the shields away from the soldiers, even if it means violently breaking his arm.
Sure. I mean, he's dead. It's not going to be that difficult. You now have a shield.
I would find it hilarious if that was an athletics check and she rolled a 1.
You are now grappled by a dead body. Yeah, so you have a shield. So there's two things in consideration. One, the whole village is going to be in flames pretty soon. This house and this house are already on fire. And the child is being dragged away by the people on horses. So what do you guys want to do?
Judging by the number of people and the state of the buildings on fire, is it reasonable to assume that these people are going to have any chance at dousing the flames, or are they just, spitting in the fire, essentially? The whole village is doomed.
It depends entirely on the wind.
Okay.
And there's something strange about this wind in that it doesn't seem natural. And unless there is some intervention, possibly intervention that's not entirely natural, the entire village would probably go up in flames.
Well, don't look at me. I'm out of spells.
The best you can do is guidance counsel.
Yeah.
The question is, would we be able to catch up to the child being abducted, and are there people still trapped in the houses that are burning?
Make a perception check for the Ampman's house. The smoke and the flames that have engulfed this house are so intense that you can't see inside of it. You know that this house, which is also on fire, is the house that you guys were staying in, and so there's nobody going to be in that. The other houses, it's very unlikely people are going to be saying that because they were rioting because they thought you were sex traffickers. So there's most likely nobody in the houses right now.
All right, well, that makes the decision easier. Good.
As far as catching up to the things that are running away, they're on horses, so catching up to them is unlikely. But if they were to stop somewhere, that would make your ability to catch up to them a lot easier.
Do we still have the guy around we came with, the scout? Rith?
I'm sorry?
Is Rith still around?
Oh, yes. I completely forgot to add him into the combat.
Thank you for that.
I think we managed just fine without him.
I'm going to yell at Rith, follow the horse. And I'll start help put out the fires.
Okay.
Yeah, and Theron's gonna try to look for a bucket and join in the bucket brigade.
Yeah, Barrick might as well join in the bucket brigade as well.
All right. I do have Thunder Wave, which could potentially be used to apply concussive force to maybe burning logs from a part of the house, or maybe just create a temporary vacuum of air to help. Would that do any good in fighting the fire in any applied way, or would that just kind of make things worse by spraying burning chunks of wood everywhere?
You have a 50-50% chance with Thunderwave.
At the risk of making a very old reference, you want to know how do you put out an oil fire, sir? You set off a bigger explosion right now.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try that on. I guess what house seems the most salvageable?
This one.
Okay, then I'm going to go over there and I'm going to take that 50-50 because, if I do nothing, it'll burn down. So I might be able to do some good here. And fingers crossed.
Can I guidance him? Can I guidance him to make it a 50/50 plus 1d?
Sure. Yeah, you can guidance him.
All right, so should I roll for Thunderwave or just roll like a D anything?
Just roll a d20.
All right, it's a 52/48, so you need to roll an 11. An 11 or lower or higher? Lower. Damn it!
Okay, so with that 18, you let loose the thunder wave on the spot where the house is beginning to catch fire, and it shatters the roof. And because it's just a thatch roof, it's not like it's not a full hardy construction like it would be in the city. And the parts of the thatch that were on fire get spun into the air. And instead of going towards the town, they are heading off away from the town. And they
Into
land
the tinder dry forest.
well, not not entirely into the forest, but they are on a patch of grass there. If you were run over and try to put it out, you could probably get that fire out.
Well, as long as it doesn't hit the wheat field.
I'm going to take a moment to facepalm. Why would you do that? Why?
Well, the house is not on fire anymore. That's a good
It worked.
part.
Look, I just made more work for the thatching economy here. Preserve the foundation of the building. I'd call that a good idea.
He's a
Hold on,
job
what's the-
creator.
What's the name of the village again?
Daushin.
Making Daushin great again?
Just
One
adding
room,
ventilation
not a
to the house.
Alright, so what do the rest of you want to do? You want to grab the bucket brigade?
Yes.
Okay,
Put
so-
out some fires.
With Hilda's house now off of the flames, there's still wind swirling around the village, and so there's fire going off now towards this house. The Ant-Man's house is it's done. The Ant-Man's house is not salvageable, but the House of the Nine and this house here, they are the two places that are currently have a little bit of fire on them. And is starting to catch.
Well, I bet he regrets not giving us the Maze Child now.
The
Are the
Ant-Man.
villagers focusing their efforts on the House of the Nine and
Yeah,
house here?
well, they're focusing their efforts on this house down here.
Okay.
I'm going to focus on the house as well. If that looks under control, I'll begrudgingly help at the House of the Nine.
Okay.
Derek is going to help both with manual labor and guidance, which I'm going to just say takes the form of comforting and guiding words. You can do it. I believe in you.
I inspire everyone too.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to play a tune,
Given that this is more like all hands on deck kind of thing, I'm gonna just sort of start singing like a sea shanty, like a good proper working song, and just try to inspire everyone that way. Work better to put out fire.
I'd say start playing Firework, but that might just send the wrong message.
So the while you start plucking on your lute, and at first people are like, "What? Why is he playing a song in the middle of a fire?" But then as you kind of they can feel themselves start moving to the rhythm and the beat. and it starts helping them coordinate their actual efforts as everybody's kind of moving now to the same rhythm. And so everything gets a little bit more efficient. That's terrible. Okay, so with you guys taking part in the house burning, the Burning Man festival here, the house is saved, but Hilda's house is now on fire again. But the good news is this house is the roof is so wet at this point that it's unlikely that it's going to catch on fire again.
So Hilda's house is on fire, and the house over here is fine?
Yeah, the house over there is now pretty fine because the roof is wet, very wet.
Bucket Brigade, protect what's left of Hilda's house.
Who is Hilda?
She is the daughter-in-law of Mouse, who was the tavern keep, the quote-unquote tavern keep. And she had let you use her house as a place to stay.
Mm-hmm. So save the place of worship or the house of the Seven Keeps.
Which
The House
do
of
the
Worship
villagers-
might be a good idea.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Ken.
Are the villagers focused on the House of the Nine or trying to save Hilda's house now?
Now they're running over to the House of the Nine.
Okay, well, I'll join in with them, and it's their village. I'll let them prioritize what they want to save.
They may not have seen the fact that Hilda's house is on fire.
Okay.
We tell them?
Is the fire in Hilda's house out of control, or is it still manageable?
It's just starting.
I'm slightly fire resistant, so I'm going to run inside with buckets and fight the fire from inside the house.
Okay. It's a long run because the well is here. And so
I'm
you'll be
aware.
taking one bucket and running, splashing it, running back. But yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I don't care about House of the Nine.
On the bright side, we probably don't have to worry about little Timmy drowning down there anymore.
Okay. With just Callie working on this, the fire is definitely getting worse.
Oh, Barrick is also helping.
Okay. So
In case it matters. Both, like I said, manual labor and guidance count.
it's okay. It's just a house.
In time, material possessions can be rebuilt. What matters is that you're alive.
Shut up and give me the bucket. That's basically their response. Okay. So with Barrick and Callie on this house, it is starting to get a little bit better, but it's still about to burst into flames.
Guys! Hilda's house!
Alright. I will contribute to the effort on the house as well.
Okay. So you guys, with 3 of you on the house, it is definitely starting to recede, albeit slowly. It will take a while. You can see now Gillier has joined you at Hilda's house. And so is Rith.
You're holding up.
Alright, so with this house fire secured, and then eventually this house fire secured, and the House of the Nine also fire secured because of all the villagers working on it. The flames and the wind is not able to take it to the rest of the village, and so these four houses, these four structures, are kind of worse for the wear. I mean, the Ant-Man's house is just gone, but the rest of them are worse for the wear. But the rest of the village is saved, and very importantly, the wheat fields are saved. But it is now early in the morning. You guys were fighting the fire for the entire last third of the night, and from what you can tell, the mage child is basically gone. You see the Ant-Man crying because there were two people in the Ant-Man's house, and they are now dead.
On the bright side, please tell me the surviving villagers are so that they commissioned a song from our bard named "The Dousing of Daushin."
The Dousing of Daushin. Yeah, I mean, if you wanna sing a song of Dousing of Daushin, that's definitely worth an inspiration.
All right, 1 second. Let me make a performance.
I will guidance it. Well, I made it a 14.
Okay.
All right. There was a fire that was burning through the night. We saw the fire burning and we put up a good fight. And by the time the sun hit the water, put it down. And that's so we saved this place called Dowson Town.
Well done.
Okay, I will give you an inspiration for that. Definitely give you inspiration for that. Okay. Now you are in a conundrum with the mage child missing. What do you want to do?
Put up an Amber Alert first off.
Are there any local people who are good at tracking hunting that we could employ who know the area well and might be able to track the movements of a few horses?
You have one with you. His name is Rith of Marksburg.
Yes. And I told him to follow the horse, which he did not.
Yeah.
Well, you got to admit he was useful in the last scrap.
Very.
I entirely forgot about him. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna put him on the map before I forget about him again.
Cool.
Also, Gilly
Badass.
was helping putting out the fire.
Yes, Gilead was helping putting out the fire.
Does he stick around after the village has been saved, or does he just quietly
Gilead is
disappear?
gone. You turn around and Gilead has disappeared.
Sure.
With your passive perception of 14, while he was helping out with the fire, you could tell that he'd taken a lot of hurt in that fight with Sir Oculent Aquini.
So where's the Ampman now? He's probably not in his burning house.
No, he is mourning the death of his daughter and son-in-law.
Did they just die in the explosion in his house?
You mean you can talk to him?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to do. I'm just trying to remember the story. So yeah, I'll go up to the Ant-Man and ask him, who those people were and where they took the child.
Those people, and you can see him just kind of really defeated, and he's looking at you, and he's trying not to make eye contact because he's wondering if he should have just handed the child over to you in the beginning. And he looks at you and he says, "That was my daughter and her husband. The mage child was my grandson, and I put them in a cellar underneath my house. And, well, didn't make it out."
So, do you know who that was that took your grandson and fled?
The only people I thought were going to take my grandson was yous.
No, that's well, I guess we were sort of trying to take the kid, but
Yeah, but yous were going to take him to the king, and now I don't know where my grandson's going at all.
This has been a rough night for you, bud. We'll find him. I'll bring your.
He just kind of breaks down crying.
are there any horses in the village? If we're gonna catch up to your grandson, we're gonna need to move faster than our feet can take us.
Only horses belong to the Lord, and he took them when he left the village. We plow our fields with oxen. We don't really use the horses. At this point,
Alright.
Rith speaks up and he says, "Well, I can track the footsteps for y'all if yous want."
That's probably our best path forward, but I at least need to patch myself up a bit here. I took a nasty swipe in that fight.
Aye, and that bastard with the bow was a decent shot.
So, while that conversation has been going on, I am deliberately avoiding the Ant-Man. I'm quite angry at him for not saying anything about the people still trapped inside. And I'm going to apologize to Hilda for only saving most of her house.
Minus the little piece of roof that was blasted off.
Yeah, and the parts that did actually catch on fire.
Hilda and Mouse look at you and say, "We was wrong about your lot. We thought you would take our kids."
That's not entirely inaccurate.
Yeah, but a mage child, not exactly a child, you see. It's more of a mage than a child. That Ant-Man,
I suppose that's true.
he was protecting his own at the expense of the entirety of the village. He don't deserve to be Ant-Man.
Well, I think his political career is over.
Yeah, and make a history check, everybody.
Barrack will guidance himself, because of course he is. He will.
So, Thilrin, Barrack, you guys know that an Ant-Man is a middleman between the villagers and the people. Akali, you would know that. You would know that much as well. So he's elected every year by the people, by the peasants of the village, to represent them, and then he works for he works underneath the Lord to maintain production quotas and stuff. But also to maintain order in the village. So if an Ant-Man is guilty of something that causes disorder in the village, he will most likely be exiled.
Well, he's fucked.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely not doing well. And right now he's just crying over the death in his family, and not really thinking about his future.
I'm going to rifle through the pockets of the original 4 enemies we fought to see if I can find any info about who they are, where they might be from.
Well, since it's not a literate society, you don't find any notes or
Okay.
anything.
Sure.
But you can tell that they're more or less local.
Okay.
Just from like the clothes, the way that they were talking and stuff, you knew that they were local.
Do you have any useful weapons? I mean, besides, they just had the scimitars.
Yeah, they were just scimitars, and there was a longbow on the archer.
To be fair, the longbow was very close to the fire.
That is true.
I'm also wondering if there's any sign of the dagger I threw that way, or if I should just delete that from the sheet. I'll spend a few minutes looking for it.
That's a good question. I think the blade should be fine. Yeah, you should be
Is
able
the
to find it.
longbow in usable condition, or did it get too scorched?
I would say it was
Or
right
maybe
in
the
front of
bow is in
Ant-Man's
good shape,
house.
but the string is busted?
Yeah, I would say something like that. The bow's okay, but the string's gone.
Okay, well, I'll take the bow at least.
All right. And are you guys gonna follow them north, or are you gonna head back, or what you guys gonna do?
I need at least a short rest.
I think Barra gave 11 hit points to somebody.
Saying that you were injured, so I
Oh. Okay.
it's not a cup of coffee, but it might help.
And then what do you guys want? Do you want to take a short rest?
I'll have a short conversation with Riz if he's still around.
Yeah, he's here.
How certain are you can track the horse on the Mage Jungle?
Well, if they leave behind tracks, I can track them.
Well, the horse is definitely going to leave tracks.
Now, they went to the north. Can you think of any likely paths or destinations in that direction that they might be headed to?
The forest in the north's got all sorts of activity, especially now with them bandits around. That's probably where the bandits are hiding, in the North Forest and the South Forest as well. So, I mean, I don't know any areas where they're exactly where they'd be hiding, but I do know that they'd be hiding somewhere good.
So the North Forest. I'm looking at your Cities of the Ark Kingdom map now, and there's no forests on it. So where is the North Forest?
I didn't populate it with the forest yet. The better map to look at, and I'll put it up here right now, is Elendor and its surrounding.
Okay.
Do you guys see it?
Yep.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
Let me actually take you to that map. So where that little guy with the sack on his back is where everybody is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they have head north into this forest.
Would we know about that, or is it just something that we're gonna have to out of character? Like, hey, let's just keep heading north and see what we find.
Yeah, that was just put in there for flavor.
Cool.
Would any of us have any knowledge of this forest?
Uh,
Just sort of how easily passable is it? Are there things in there that people know about? That sort of thing.
Why don't we ask our Elven Ranger friend, who was so useful in the last battle?
yeah, I'm sorry about that. Um, well, you see, the forest ain't all that dense, so there's ways to get by. Actually, Thilrin, that reminds me, you were a smuggler, so go ahead and actually make a history check. Yeah, you know, Thilrin, that this forest is known for its smuggling routes. Because it's not very dense, but it's dense enough for it to be difficult to follow with horses and law. So it makes for really good smuggling routes.
All right.
And it also runs parallel. Like, the roads were cut through the forest, so it runs parallel to the roads.
Right. Well, what do we do now? Suppose we're going to follow them?
I vote we follow the mage child right now.
Yep. The longer we wait, the further ahead of us they're gonna get. So.
Okay. So you guys are going to follow the Mace Child?
Yeah. Hopefully, Rith can pick up the trail and lead us
And how much of a head
into the
start do
forest.
they have on us? Like they ride, on horses through a really thick woods in the middle of the night in the dark.
Yeah. Those are all really good points. So you would imagine that they wouldn't get too far in the forest in the middle of the night.
Well, still, the sooner we get on their tail, the better. Let's head after them. Let our local look for them.
All right. So if you're going to follow the Mage Child, that will bring us to our second skill challenge. And we will do that right after a short break, where I will also allow you guys to level up.
Oh wow.
Yay! Channel Divinity.
Song of Rest. Oh no, that's a.
So go ahead and level up, take 10 minutes, and then we'll meet back at 22.
Alright.
He can. Well, no, he can't. He's too low level for that.
Does anyone have a map?
No. Maps are in very low supply in this area, and they're very inaccurate.
Is there anything noteworthy about where these prints end? Is it does the forest open up into a clearing and they end there, or is it just endless woods and they just seem to disappear somewhere?
Everybody roll an investigation on that one. Okay, Bera and Thilrin, you can tell that right where the animal footprints end, there are two more sets of horse prints. So you're expecting there to be, there were 4 horses. You're expecting there to be 4 sets of horse prints to follow. Right where the animal footprints end, there are 7.
Alright, I point that out. Hey, anyone else counting 7 horse prints here?
And then right after those 7, it's all, there's nothing there.
So apparently they met up with some comrades somewhere along the way.
I'm struggling here because I have a few ideas, but Callie is not that smart.
I mean, you can throw those ideas out, and just it's not a big problem.
Right. No maps. Is anyone familiar with this forest?
Would any of us be familiar with the forest? I would think I'd at least know the basics of it. It's a forest.
I mean,
maybe there's a road through it.
You would be familiar with you'd have a general familiarity with it in the sense that with your smuggling background, you would know the types of things that smugglers are looking for in a route.
Okay. Callie, would that sort of info be what you're looking for?
Maybe. I'm also curious about the spell. How long does it last?
The spell lasts, with that Arcana roll, I'll give you, the spell lasts for about an hour.
I think the question is how far could you ride in an hour? And is there something within an hour's riding distance from here?
Well, I don't know the forest that well, but I would imagine all of us would have a general sense of how fast a horse can travel.
Sure, and definitely in this thicket, because it's not totally dense to the point where you can't move a horse through it, but it's not easy either. You get the sense that a horse would not move faster than a walking person. So an hour's walk is probably about 1.5 miles. Maybe 1 mile with the denseness of the forest.
Okay. Oh, anyone? Ideas?
This is a little out of my wheelhouse here. we could try to conduct an expanding ring search. You go about a half-mile north, do a sweep in a circle around at a half-mile out, then you go another half-mile north, do a sweep about, in a circle around there.
Well, that's probably going to work, if I'm right, but it's also going to take all day.
Yeah. Moving forward.
I'm just gonna look at Rith. Any ideas of any places of interest
Well,
about a mile away?
there are ways to track without footprints. I mean, these trees, their branches come down pretty low, so a horse could snap off a branch or two.
We'll get to it, man.
Just looking at where the prints end, is there an obvious path that we might be able to assume someone would naturally take, or is it just trees randomly dotted everywhere?
It's just trees randomly dotted everywhere.
Okay.
You guys could throw out a random skill and just kind of hope that the dice rolls the way it does. Okay. So, unfortunately, there's very little way to tell which way this is going, and you start just kind of heading the same direction that the hoof prints were going in generally, which was north-ish. Mm-hmm. And so you just start keep going north. Rith is like, look, the best we know is they're going north. So we'll just go north for a bit and see if we can't get anything in that in the meantime. And so Rith starts heading north. And as you're coming norther, you start seeing blood drops. And the drops of blood are getting more and more and more and more and more. And eventually you come to a point where there is the blood drops lead to a tree. And rested against that tree is a hooded man, completely unconscious.
I got an idea, guys. Tie him up, and then I'll heal him a little, and then we can interrogate him.
Does the man look familiar?
He's wearing similar clothes to the one the ones who were dragging the child off.
All right. Why not? Heal the man. Let's have a little chat.
All right. Anyone have any rope?
I do indeed.
I do not.
You do have a giant tiefling barbarian.
Right. So here's the dealio. I'm some curing on this guy. Bring him back into revivification to the point where he can answer some questions. If he tries to make a run for it, you just knock him upside the head. Everyone okay with that plan?
Sure.
Sounds good.
I do have rope though.
Oh, then tie his hands.
Oh, you do have rope.
Yes.
I heard that as you don't.
We tie his hands behind the tree so that he can't go anywhere.
Okay. Is he tied up?
Yes.
All right, he
Alright.
is tied up.
Here goes nothing. I think. Ha!
Nice.
Come on. I'm clicking on cure wounds and it's not curing wounds.
Just manually roll a d8 then.
To decide what level to cast at. There we go.
All right. So you touch his, you touch the man in the abdomen where the worst bleeding is, and the wounds kind of close up a little bit, and you can see him take a deep breath, and come back and go, ah. And he's expecting to find friends, and he looks up and he finds you guys instead.
Hang on. No, I think he's gonna find friends.
You're out of spells now, right? Because you used Thunderwave, then you used... Oh, wait, no. You used Thunderwave, you used Cure Wounds.
Right, and then I used cure wounds, and then I used tried to use charm person. How many spells can I cast in a day?
What
I
class are you?
think it's 3 at level 2. Let me check.
All right, yeah, I got 3 spell slots. So, and you know how many I could? Wouldn't it be like your spell modifier?
Nope. Oh, you are bard.
Yeah, so it's just your spell slots.
You have
All right,
3
then.
at level 2.
I guess that was it when I cast cure wounds. All right,
Yeah.
we
Unfortunately.
can still talk.
No, he should have 3.
Yeah, so he used Thunderwave, then he used Cure Wounds on Thailrun, and now he used Cure Wounds on this guy.
Oh, right.
All right.
Alright, so he's awake, and he's looking at you guys, and his eyes are darting around, and his hands are tied around the tree. And he's like, what you lot want?
Relax, man. We just saved your life. Friendly hands here.
And you see him, he's still a little bit shaken, but he's calming down a little bit, and he's looking at you. What yous lot want?
First of all, we were sent to back you up, but we got here just a little too late, apparently. Can you tell me what happened?
You sent to back us up?
Oh, yeah.
Make a deception check.
Don't mind if I do. Can I get a little guidance on this?
Yeah, he said he's assuming he's guidance on everything.
All right, cool. Deception. Not very good.
Okay. So he looks at you and he says, if you sent to back us up, then why am I tied?
Well, I just healed you. You were in an... I didn't want you to come out of that swinging.
You could have just held me down.
That would have probably made you even more panicked. Hey, let's untie him so we can talk to him properly, eh?
Sure, I'll
As you
untie him.
wish, boss.
Okay, so I'm guessing you guys untie him.
What? Are you hungry, thirsty?
Look, I'm just I need to get back.
Mate, you've almost bled out to death. You're lucky we came here when we did. Now we'll get to that, but first, let's make sure that you're stable.
Who sent you?
Oh, you know we can't tell you that.
Yeah, but And he has kind of squints.
The most important thing is we need to know who attacked you, and we need to know who's still alive so we can get there in time. What happened? What's the last thing you remember?
Who said I was attacked?
We found you in a pool of your own blood, man. Unless you were particularly depressed, I'm assuming that's what happened.
Look, I can take you to the clearing, but I can't give you much more than that. You can talk to the boss.
All right, I'm gonna do just that. Have some food too. I give him some rations and some water to, help him out as we walk.
Okay. So yeah, you definitely cleared that. And the scout starts leading you guys north towards and there are trees all around this area, but there's also you can see just kind of birds in the air in this area, which is kind of strange because birds should be more in the trees than in the air, usually in the air because they've been disturbed by something. As you come forward, he points towards this, what you can make out, what Callie can make out, and Thalrin. Thalrin, your past perception is 14 as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so what Callie and Thalrin can make out is what looks like grass in the middle of the forest, and he points there and he says, there's a clearing there. Be careful around the front. We put a little net trap there.
All right, thanks. It's a good tip, and I appreciate all your help, and I'm really sorry about this.
About what?
Get him!
Okay, he's knocked cold. I'm not gonna make you roll an attack for that because it's just such a surprise.
All right, someone needs uniform.
Oh, they're not uniforms. They're just clothes.
Okay.
Uniforms don't really exist in this world.
Trap was?
The trap was a net trap, and he said it was going to be somewhere around here.
I'm not seeing where you're clicking.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the net trap's around there. So you were told that there's a net trap there and that he's meeting people. What do you want to do going into this clearing?
What do you guys think?
Well, we should try to find the net trap at least. I don't know if we should disarm it, but at least find it so we can avoid it.
Is there any...
Go ahead.
I really wish I would have asked him if there were any signals or code words we needed before we did that.
Hindsight's 2020.
Just waking him up again.
Oh yeah, by the way.
Well, that's a good point. We should drag this guy, in behind a tree or something, so the other people that he was supposed to meet don't spot him.
Yeah. We should also scout out the clearing, see if there's already someone there or not. If there is, we could use the net trap to our advantage. Trigger it, make them think there's someone there, so they all rush to the south, and then we come in from the north.
Can we see the net trap from this distance? Now that we know where to look.
You would have to make. You would have to really look very hard, but you would have advantage on it.
I will attempt to locate the trap. Yeah.
Add guidance.
1d4. 14.
Ooh. Yeah, you don't find it.
I'm just gonna shrug. Oh, I got nothing.
Hmm.
I'd like to hide and then just sneak near an edge of the clearing away from where we know the net trap to be and just see if there's anyone in the clearing or around the perimeter.
Okay. That's an investigation. Oh, okay, for the net trap.
Oh, should I use perception instead?
You can use perception or investigation. It's your choice.
Let me use my strong suit then.
Yeah, you don't find anything either. Okay, who was hiding?
Thaelrin,
Alright, go ahead and do it.
what do you want, a stealth check?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay. As you step forward to, like, this area here, you see two archers looking right at you. And you realize that you stepped on a twig and went crack.
Yep.
And they look at you and they immediately draw their bows. And they say, "Who's going there?"
I don't suppose the guy we interrogated happened to let his name, did he?
Nope.
No.
Laugh!
I'll just shout back my name and tell them that what was his name? Soroculin sent me.
The moment you take that name, this one man just bolts.
Okay.
And the other guy looks at you and says, Soroculin?
Yep.
A Queenie?
Soroculin, the one and only.
And he's kind of looking around. Is here?
Not yet, but he's not too far behind me.
And this guy also turns around and just bolts. Make a perception check.
All of us, or
Theron. Yeah, they were not reacting to... They're terrified out of their mind.
Clearly.
The idea that Soroculin of Aquini is going to be here very soon is scaring the holy living bejesus out of them.
So, not a man to be trifled with.
Not a man to be trifled with, and also a strange reaction from somebody for their boss.
Right.
you
Assuming
picked the
they
wrong
are.
name. Can we see where they're running, or is the forest too dense?
No, you can definitely see where they're running. It rains a lot in this forest, so it's kind of it gets squishy, like not muddy, but squishy enough. So even if you didn't see where they were running, they would leave their pretty sizable, noticeable footprints.
All right, I'm just going to charge out of here and attempt to throw a javelin at the last dude. Same as before, I just want to nail him to the ground.
Okay.
And then you'll know, wait, stop, and take this attack at disadvantage.
Okay.
It's very far away.
9 does not hit, unfortunately.
No.
Okay. Anybody else want to try to do something before these guys completely get away?
No, I'm fine with letting them run.
Or was he on his own, trying to talk his way out of that? Like, did we see them run off?
You would have heard them.
I would think everyone who was close enough to search for the net trap would have been close enough to
Alright.
see me interact with these guys.
Yeah,
Should be
definitely.
And fail at hiding.
We don't mention that.
Our best
I'm just really good with a
bet would
sling.
Probably like. Go ahead.
Go for it, Nick.
I was just saying our best bet would be to follow him. I don't think that we're in range to really do anything combat-wise, but if they're, hightailing it out of there, they're gonna leave pretty easy to follow tracks, and they're gonna lead us right to anyone important enough to tell that he's on his way.
I would have preferred only dealing with 2 people instead of however many they're escaping back to.
Yeah, but they didn't have the boy anyway, so we can assume that they're going to talk to whoever does.
I guess we'll follow the footprints then.
Before we do that, can we just take a quick search of the clearing, see if there's anything notable?
Sure.
Okay. I will do that.
You find a clearing. There is grass, and every now and again there's some rocks.
All right.
Not a lot of trees. Cool.
Yeah, this is a clearing.
It is surrounded by trees, but it's just a clearing.
Okay.
Is my thing still going blue?
I haven't heard it for a while. So you guys want to follow them then?
Yeah, if we can have Rith just tracking, and we'll follow along.
Yeah, Rith's favored terrain is forests, so he gets advantage on tracking. And his tracking is like a +5, so.
Oh, nice.
We're following 2 dudes leaving muddy footprints. We're fleeing in a panic. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, so Rith is very easily able. He doesn't even have to slow down. He calls everybody over, and he's just running behind them. And as he's running behind them, you guys are following them for a good about half mile. You can actually see them a little bit in the distance, and they run into what looks like a giant hole in the ground, an opening into a hole in the ground.
Like they run down there, they don't like fall in?
No, they run down it.
Is it like a cave, or is it man-made, or?
And they get to what looks like an opening. Let me quickly, before you guys do anything here. Alright, go ahead and drop your tokens. Well, what you see is 2 guards stationed here and here. Oh, you're still in the... You should be...
Everything's black.
Yeah.
You need to reveal just the area that you want us to see.
Okay. This is what I'll do.
Also, just putting it out here, but As I run past it, I snatch my javelin back up.
Okay.
Back up to 3. I'm also assuming I never found the one I threw after the horse.
Also, you're gonna have to right-click on our tokens and put like has sight. Dynamic lighting.
Yes, you're right. Let me say this light 60 by 60. Okay, so you guys, can you see this?
I see the ring.
Yes, the ping.
Okay. But you can't see the 2 guards.
No.
All
In
right.
the menu, click on like reveal area, and then just click and drag on the squares that you want us to be able to see. And if our tokens aren't there, just drag them into that part, and we'll be able to see things.
Okay, so the first part of this, I want to do Theater of the Mind anyways. And then the second part of this, we'll do the dynamic lighting stuff. So as you track them, you see they run through the forest. You're running behind them through the forest, and you come to this little clearing. You come to this area where there's a giant hole in the ground underneath a little tree area, and there's 2 guards standing there. And the archers run right past them into the darkness, and the guards stationed there are they're looking at each other like, what the hell was that? But they're still standing there. You do not seem to be noticed yet, but if you go any closer, you'll probably be noticed unless you're being very sneaky.
And how far from the guards are we?
You're about 100 feet.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna run right up to them and try to run past them.
Okay. Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah.
I'm going to follow, but stealthily.
By the way, what was the name of the guy who they said is whose name made them run like that?
Let me show up the thing here. His name is Siraculan of Aquini. He is the head of the Aquinian Guild of Mages. He is a very powerful mage.
It looks like it.
And he was the guy who put the Ant-Man's house on fire.
All right. So, I'm gonna try to run past the guards, and when they stop me,
so as you're running towards them, as you come out of the clearing, they just kind of stand up and come together to block the path in front of you and says, "Hey, who are you?"
never mind that. You need to get out of here right now. Let me by.
And they draw their spears.
All right. I act really indignant. Hold on. I only meant to roll that once. Listen, Siraculan is on his way here right now. Now you can either waste your time trying to slow me down, or you can grab whatever you need and get the hell out of here.
What? Siraculan Aquini?
Yeah, are you deaf? He's on his way here right now. He's right behind us. Now move your asses.
And they turn around and they start running.
I wave to the rest of the team to come up.
Yeah, I'll move up.
I guess we walk into the cave then?
Okay.
After you.
Let me reveal the cave to you then. All right. So as you enter the cave, you see a large cavern-like structure with stalagmites and stalactites hanging from the ceiling or jutting up from the ground. A giant pillar is on the left side, a pillar of rock. And in the center, you see a fire pit. And the fire pit is surrounded by... this... the fire pit is surrounded by a dog, a boar, an archer, a guard, an acolyte, and now 2 more guards. You guys might want to... let me... Site... can you guys drag your tokens out as well to about this area?
Done.
Let me get behind you. I don't have a ranged weapon. Actually, that should be a reason to...
I think I dragged myself out there.
Alright. Who's the interesting looking dude here with the thing?
You would recognize him as looking very similar to the guy who was casting spells the last time you guys were around.
Okay.
You guys took a fight.
For this guy here?
Which guy?
Next to the boar?
That is an archer.
What do you think, though? Should we try to talk our way through this or just throw down?
Talking's been working so far.
And you see these guards just kind of run by to the back here and disappear.
The guards from outside.
Yep.
Right.
By the way, do we know the name of the person who's probably hiring these guys? Or who we suspect is?
Nope. Although you can give me a investigation check. Okay, the DC was 12. So their accent is not from this area. Their accent is from probably southwest.
Mm. Alright, so looking at the lore. So where would that put them?
Probably close to a city called Frausbach.
Okay. And what would I know about that area?
Roll me history. Nothing. You know Frausbach is a city to the southwest, and that's about it.
All right, well, guys, get ready to jump in because I think I'm about to get my ass handed to me. I walk in very confidently. Ladies, gentlemen.
Who's you?
Listen, I came here all the way from the southwest. It's been a very long trip, and it's been a very unpleasant one. I hate this whole bloody region. I don't have time for your who are you. I've been sent here to make sure everything's going to plan. And gentlemen think are not going to plan.
Jesus, your deception rolls. They're just kind of looking at you like, who the hell is this guy? And they're looking at you saying, "Oh, sent ya."
Who do you think sent me? Let me ask you that. I'm telling you I'm here to make sure everything's going to plan. Whose plan do you think I'm here to make sure it's going to?
And they're looking at each other and they're really confused. We wasn't told there'd be anybody else coming.
Man, when was the last time you saw someone say that there's an inspector coming? Now I'm telling you, I'm here to inspect things, so you'd better start letting the inspector get out of my way.
We was told to take the mage child. We took the mage child. What's the problem?
Were you told what you're supposed to do after that?
The boss will take care of that.
Boss will take care of that. Is the boss going to take care of the man you left bleeding in the woods? Because that was a major clue you could have left lying around that anyone could have picked up on. The one who told you to just run away from your posts. Our clearing was completely abandoned. The front door was completely unguarded. Now, what the hell is this shoddy operation here?
They're looking around at each other like, look, what we can do is we can take you to the boss, and the boss will sort all this out.
I think you'd better do that.
All right. Are you guys going with him to the boss?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Hold up 1 minute, because I've got to bring in my team. I got some experts I brought with me, and while I'm doing that, you're going to carry their stuff for them. Make sure that it's all there when we get back. And then I yell out of the cavern entryway, "Hey guys, quit playing with your dicks and get in here!"
Okay. So they'll send the archer, and they'll say to the archer to take him to the boss. The archer goes right behind this pillar, and he finagles it a little bit, and a little secret door opens up.
Okay.
And he walks in, and he lights a torch. So let me quickly. Alright, so he lights a torch and he starts heading up. If you guys want to follow him.
On my way.
Sure.
Wait, what kind of rope are you using to secure those animals? Is that sessile? Is that hemp? What is that?
Those animals are entirely unsecure.
Gentlemen, secure your animals.
Those animals are secured by the magic of the boss.
Right, and what happens if he gets sick or falls asleep? You don't want him to start eating our people. Secure them.
And they start taking some rope and like tying the animals down.
That'll give us an easier out.
just a little bit, maybe. All right. So now he's heading north.
Where am I supposed to be going? I'm hitting the wall here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take care of that.
Oh, right. Thank you. Wait. I can't see anything. No.
Huh. Just click and drag your guys to like right here.
Yep.
Secret passageway.
I can't see anything. I have no idea where I'm supposed to be.
Alright, see my circle right there?
Right. I say secret passages, it seems.
I just click and drag and put your character like right here.
I think I'm good.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay. So it's entirely dark in this passage, so you're gonna have to stick with the scout.
Would dark vision help?
It would. Do you have dark vision?
I do.
By how much? 60
I
feet?
think it is.
Mine's
that
out to
should
60
be-
feet.
Alright, so while we're walking, I'm asking the guards. So how long have you been stationed here?
We just come up when the scryers told us we found something. We've only been here for a couple of days, a few days maybe. The earlier patrols were the ones that found this place and set it up.
Where are they now?
Oh, they's out raiding now.
Perfect.
Raids must be going well. The Elendor's getting a little short on supplies.
Yeah. We don't talk much because everything is pretty osh around here. But the raids are going pretty well, from what I can tell.
So, hey, is the boss in there?
Yeah, boss is in there.
Thanks, you've done a great job. And then I knock him out.
You knock him out?
I will certainly endeavor to do so unless anyone else nearby is better at doing that. I would give them the signal to knock him out.
Okay. Roll initiative. I just want to make sure that everything goes in like the right order.
Because I'm hoping what goes down is we incapacitate the guard and then can walk in there undisturbed and with no one else to run back and alert everyone else.
It's a solid plan. Hopefully it works.
Do I need to make like a attack roll or just a generic like roll, d20, like knock out the dude roll?
You would have to make an attack roll. But you would have... this is a surprise round. So, he won't be able to act.
Alright, what should I roll for just try to bash his head against the wall?
I mean, you can roll, like, if you're using your rapier's, the butt of your rapier, then it would just be a normal attack roll.
Right. So, would this be with advantage, or do I just get like an extra attack?
Roll your initiative?
I got a 20.
Oh, okay. So
Oh, I didn't.
yeah, I didn't put it in because it wasn't selected. Let me roll Rith as well. Okay. So put this in descending, and we'll just remember that you are acting first. So go ahead and just make a regular attack roll.
Alright. Cross out.
Yeah, that's gonna miss. So as you're pulling out your rapier, you can see his eyes dart towards your hand, and he's like, "What the?" and is just able to step out of the way. Callie?
One drop in, please.
How wide is this corridor?
It is 5 feet by 5 feet. So
There's no way I'm getting into Mini, right?
I'm gonna quickly rearrange you guys in just a quick second here, like this. Yeah, like that. You could hold your turn and ask people to move out of the way. By the way, you still have your move left. And since he's got a bow out, you don't have... Yeah, exactly. He doesn't take attacks of opportunity. Actually, he doesn't even have his bow out. He has a torch out.
Yeah. And I think you could also, like, move attack move, right?
Yeah, you can. You can break up your movement.
So we have. I think we could swing this.
So I can get into melee and then run back. Sure.
Yep.
Excuse me. Excuse me. And yeah. Just a single stabby stab with a short sword. Nope.
Oh.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm just gonna walk back.
Guys, I think I might have just got us all killed.
Okay. That definitely does not hit. It is now the scout's turn. He can't act, but he can yell. He's going to yell, "Help! Help!"
So much for that.
All right. Now it's.
It was a good time.
It's Rith's turn. He's gonna move up, and he's gonna use his short swords. All right.
Wait. Shut up, the guard.
All right, good. So Rith rolls really well, and with his two short swords, he really racks into this scout. He's now bleeding in his leg, and he's bleeding in his arm. And Rith runs back. All right, it is Thalrin's turn. Delrin.
Yeah. Just trying to decide if I should, fling a stone at him, or if I should grab him and try to cover his mouth and keep him from screaming. I'll do that. I'm gonna try to grab him and cover his mouth.
Okay. So move up and roll in athletics or acrobatics, whichever one you choose.
All right.
And he is going to contest that with his own acrobatics or athletics. Oh. Sorry, give me a second here. Yeah, and he makes it. He's very easily able to push you off as you try to grab him. All right, what do you want to do? You still have like 20 feet of movement left.
Hide in the back of the line.
Okay. All right, it's back to the top of the round.
Alright. So I'm going to use a cantrip.
What? I thought it's me, right?
Yeah, he rolled a 20, but he wasn't in the lineup because he didn't select this token.
Just roll something for him, and then you can manually edit the number.
If you
Okay.
yeah, right click on my guy and put add turn.
Ah, there we
Alright,
go.
and then and voila. And now let's click and drag him up. Here we go. Make your wisdom save, dude.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Okay.
just checking, like, hey, are you as bad at calling for help as you are at guarding?
And with that terrible, terrible mockery of him, he just slinks to the ground, crying, and falls unconscious.
Heard that.
Now, as that happens, you can hear the doorway here open.
Ah, shit.
And
Oh, that's
yeah.
not good.
And a man reveals himself with a giant staff in his hand. Says, "What's going on over here?"
Probably shouldn't be standing in a straight line like this.
And
Don't
he's-
have a whole lot of choice in this hallway.
he looks at the fallen over guy, and he's like, he kind of kicks him to see what's wrong with him, and he sees that he's dead, and so he's gonna roll initiative too.
Oh, thank God you're here.
This man has been murdered. He appears to have been knocked to death.
There's a magical assailant. He just turned invisible. I think he went that way.
You're gonna have to roll really well on that.
I did not.
He rolled 11.
Okay, so
I'm gonna step this way and end my turn.
Okay. Do you want to end your turn? Or do you want to hold it?
I mean, I guess having failed to talk my way out of that one, I'm going to hold. I guess I could hold. Gosh, let's end it for now and let the next people do.
All right, Callie, it's your turn.
I'm just going to sigh. We're being attacked. We certainly made child safe. And that's it. Is that a deception or?
That's definitely a deception. Definitely a
Fine,
deception.
like, this is deception.
Does it help that we're in the secret tunnel? We could use that to our advantage. Like, yeah, if we were infiltrators, that would be here.
It would have helped if there wasn't a dead scout right in front of him.
It's like half the truth. They are being attacked.
You know what? I'm gonna drag Barrick out onto this as well because you guys might need the help.
Would I also be guided in my deception roll, or Eric not do that in time?
He can't do that outside of his turn initiative.
Nice. So no,
Okay.
I'll just hold an attack until something comes within range.
All right. So with your reaction, you can attack something that comes into range.
That's it.
Let me.
I don't know what they're working for.
It's now the druid's turn. Whoo boy. Yeah. So the druid's gonna say, "How did you get in here?"
Oh, yes.
The secret handle to the secret tunnel? How else would we get in here?
And then he's gonna look back at his dead scout and be like, "Okay, these biotics are probably not helpful." And he is going to cast Thunderwave.
Oh,
So,
I think we might be safe. Yes.
oh dear God, we are not safe.
Okay, so that's Thunderwave is, I believe, 30 feet, right?
Oh. I mean, no, it's a 15-foot cube emanating from you.
Oh, okay. So in that case, he's going to step forward and then cast Thunderwave. So the good news is, it doesn't get Thalrin and Barrick, who were the guys who were hurt last fight. The bad news is, Rith, Rith, Barra, and Callie have to make dexterity saving throws
Am I in range?
with a DC of 12. Oh no, you're not in range. It's 15 feet. Yeah.
Yes! So, 6 damage.
Yep. You take 6 damage, and you are not pushed back. Rith. Rith rolls a crit, so yeah, he's fine too. So 11 plus 6, 7 is 18. So 18 minus 6. All right. Now this boar runs in here. 10, 15, 20, 25. Oops. And attacks Callie with his tusks.
Yes. I will also use my held action to stab the boar. Hopefully. Or not.
Yeah, you just miss. And he just misses you. So cancels out. The boar comes
just-
running. Sorry?
Not just batting it away with his shield. Stay down.
Oh right, you have a shield now, so you have AC of 18?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And so the boar comes running and with his tusks rams into your shield, and you just use it to push it away. It is now Rith's turn, and Rith says, "Oh, kill the mage! Kill the mage!"
Is it all?
After you.
Wow.
Hit?
That definitely hits. And it hits for 10 points of damage plus Hunter's Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap. I think you rolled maximums? Close to. That's 16 points of damage. He says, kill the mage! Kill the mage!
I like Rith of Marksburg.
Yeah, now that he's active in battle, yeah.
And as he yells that, he launches an arrow and it catches the druid right in the leg and it goes right through the leg. The druid is looking pretty bad right now. It's this boar's turn, and this poor guy just runs up and just sits around, not able to do anything. Okay. Thelrin, it's your turn.
Would I be able to get a stone from my sling to the druid, or with everyone in the way, is that not possible?
I would say he would take half cover.
Half cover.
So that's a negative, +2 to his AC.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a try. What the hell? Ooh, that's not gonna do it.
No, that's not going to do it. So that it's just so tight in here that you're not able to get a good swing with your sling, and it just flies past his head. All right, Bard, your turn. Oh wait, as you hear, as things are getting pretty nasty up here, you hear the door to the south begin to open.
How did they hear all that?
The thunder wave has a 300-foot range.
And it's a thunder wave in a tunnel.
Probably echoes a bit.
Yeah. Now, luckily, they did tie the animals down.
All right, guys, we're about to have some company.
Okay, it's your turn, Barrow.
I can do one of two things. I can either go to the south and try to hold them off somehow, or I can use vicious mockery on the druid, which will be funny.
Funny gets my vote.
Okay.
Do your thing, man.
All right. Hey, you over there. So much time around plants because no people want to be near you.
Okay. And he fails his wisdom saving throw.
All right. He has disadvantage on his next attack roll if he makes it before the end of his next turn.
Alright, Callie, you're up.
Oh, and I'm also going to move to the south to try to hold off whatever's coming. Right, go ahead.
I am not enjoying any of it. Let's see. Can't get past the door.
Hello, everybody. Terribly
Hello, we are
Hey,
all
Eric.
dying.
Welcome back.
sorry. Really sorry I had to run off like that.
Great.
Life happens.
Life comes at you fast.
What did I miss? Who's dying? Who's killing us?
Everyone. And everyone. Alright, I'm going to attempt to chuck a javelin over the boar and into the druid dude.
Now, since this is a ranged attack with somebody 5 feet in, next to you, you are going to have disadvantage in that attack.
Would this be a good... should I just drag myself out and roll initiative, or am I just gonna have to sit out the rest of the fight?
Oh, no, I dragged you out already, but I didn't roll initiative for you.
Ah, well, the map is just a black screen for me, so if I could...
Oh,
get
I'm
some
sorry.
vision back.
We're in the top left corner.
the DM should also be able to drag you to the correct spot directly. Do I like those odds?
How does that work for you?
Still can't see a thing.
Enable flight.
Yeah, I'm going to throw the javelin with disadvantage.
I dragged a token I can select out now, so maybe that'll help.
Okay. Does that work?
Also,
Yep,
I would
I can
like
see now.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Callie?
I believe I hit him maybe for 5 damage. Also, I would like to rage.
Okay. You did indeed hit him for 5 damage.
Excellent.
I'm guessing he did not die.
No, but that javelin hit him right in the gut, and it's pierced his stomach, and his stomach is starting to bleed out. It is now the druid's turn. And seeing the situation he's in, he's going to grab that wand that you saw Callie, or that staff that you saw Callie that he was using before, and he's going to touch it to himself.
Oh crap.
He's touching himself with his wand. Alright, and now I'm getting gored by boars.
And all of his wounds, or most of his wounds, magically heal up.
Oh crap.
Holy shit. I should have hit one of the boars instead.
Alright, it is now the boar's turn. Oh, and as he does that, he slams his staff to the ground and yells, "Blah, Shalele!" Alright, it is now the boar's turn. And the boar is going to try to attack you with his tusks.
When you get a chance, could you reorder initiative so I can jump in as well?
And the boar actually misses. In fact, it misses so bad, it tried to hit you, and it hit the cave wall instead.
Oh. I'm just looking at it. That animal isn't okay.
Alright, Barrett, you're up.
Well, he awakens from his sudden stupor and decides to suddenly rush forward to try and bash this boar's brains in. And I don't think it matters that much, but that would be a 12 because of the +1 weapon.
That is actually a hit.
Yes! So, 10 damage instead of 9. Yay, I'm helping!
Remind me of the rules. Is it? Can you run through, attack, and run back if somebody's standing in that area?
I think if it's a friendly creature, yes. If it's an enemy, no.
Okay, all right.
But I think it might cost extra movement to move through people.
No, you can inhabit the same square as an ally as long as you do not end your turn on it.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
All right. So, are you gonna run out of there now?
Nope,
He has to.
There's no one else there.
Callie's there.
Yep.
Right there?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, right here.
Right here.
So the boar did not die.
Nope.
That's strange.
Oh, you
Okay.
don't see Callie there?
No, I see her right there.
Oh, weird.
Huh.
Yeah, Callie's right here, and the boar is here.
Alright, then I'll run back then.
All right, and you will take an opportunity attack.
That's fine.
It crit
His best words.
for 5
Oh,
damage.
Sorry, I didn't hear. Well, what did he roll?
He crit for 5 damage.
Oh, nice.
It'll be fine. Sure.
Alright, it is now Rith's turn. And Rith is going to attack that druid again.
Hit him again. Hit him again. Harder. Woo!
Wow.
And he hits him for 12 low-level rangers, man. And another arrow goes swinging right into his other shoulder. And that druid is got one knee on the ground. He is looking really rough. Blood coming out of everywhere. Everything's disheveled. Everything's falling apart. Alright, it is the boar's turn. And that boar's just going to sit there and not do anything. Thalrin.
So, same situation as last time. If I flung a stone at the druid at the a -2.
Yep.
I really want to kill him, but given how injured he is, I don't want to waste a spell to do it. So,
If he's able to use that stick to heal himself again, though, I mean, we don't want him to like turn into a like dire bear or something.
yeah.
Find sticks so we can heal ourselves.
All right. Well, let's do the classic then and use magic missile on the druid. What is that? So I guess
it's
it
3
gives me
missiles,
one.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
roll 2 times.
Yeah. All right.
Alright, hold off on that last one. You can redirect the last one to another person, because the first 2 just take him out.
Nice.
Okay. But do they get cast simultaneously?
Yeah, but you can redirect each one to a different creature.
Okay. Then I'll send the last one at the boar in front here.
Alright, he's dead too. Alright, so as this arcane energy swirls around your hand, you let it go. Let it go, let it go. And two of these bolts go and they smack the druid right in his eye sockets. And through his eye sockets go into his brain and boil the thing in there. And the other one goes into the mouth of the boar and it just takes it out.
Really? All right.
Oh, that was violent.
Seems like a kind of a cruel way to kill a boar, but I'll take it.
Alright, top of the round, it is the Bard Bara.
All right. Do I see people coming up from the south? Like, do they have torches?
Yes, they do have torches, and they are coming up from the south.
All right, then I'm gonna move down to meet them. Cannot see. Go in. Lies in darkness. Which, if you think about it, is rather symbolic of life.
There, that should do it.
And voila. Alright. So, these are the same guys that I talked to before, right?
Re-up.
Alright. So, I just calmly walk up to them, and I say, "Gentlemen, you'll be taking orders from me directly from now on."
Roll a deception, and you're gonna have to roll really well on this one.
He's dead.
Wait. I'm gonna use is to use half of my proficiency. Oh, that's a 13.
You're not proficient in deception?
I am proficient in many things. Deception is not one of them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You can get
So they look at you and they say, "Where's the boss? We only take we only take orders from the boss, and that sounded like the boss's spell.
Yes, that was the boss's spell. The boss is now an ex-boss. His head is going to be decorating the front gate of this fortification for the immediate future until it rots and falls into pieces. Warning to everyone else not to be so shoddy about placing defenses and abandoning the...
Yeah, he draws his sword.
Sorry you feel that way.
Callie?
Alright. Yeah, I'll just run up to the remaining boars. Careful not stepping on the corpses. That seems disrespectful. Stab it with my sword. Oh.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, I'm also raging, so 9. And yeah, I'll stay here.
You can also punch it with a bonus action if you want.
I have a shield in the offhand,
Oh, okay.
so I'm assuming I cannot.
No, you can't. Alright, so you take that sword and you put it straight through the eye socket of one of those boars. Not deep enough to hit its brain, but it is in a bad situation. The druid is dead. That boar is dead. Barrick, it's your turn.
All right, Barrick is going to start moving forward. I think he can. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't get up to. Is that boar up in front dead?
Nope, it's alive.
Let's see what Barrick can do about that. And yeah, not going to waste a spell slot. He will just drop a Sacred Flame on top.
Okay, DC 12. Oh, he rolled a 1. And how much damage was that? 4?
4. Yes.
That shot goes right into the mouth of the boar like it did the other one, and goes through the mouth into the lungs and just burns it all up with the sacred energy.
Let it burn.
Let it burn, let it burn. Alright, it's now Rith's turn. And Rith is going to run into the room. And he's going to say, "Oi! The mice child's right here!" And he's going to run up to the maze child. And that boar is dead. It's the guard's turn. The guard steps up. Goes ahead and attacks.
And this, folks, is the drawback to trying to talk your way through everything. It doesn't always...
And he takes his spear and he sticks it in your foot. And you take 5 piercing damage. It's now the Acolyte's turn, and the Acolyte uses that same shimmering glow and that you saw him use on that scout, and puts it on the guard. All right, Theolrun, you're up.
Can't leave Bara down here all alone, so I'll move into range and use my sling again at this guy up front.
That's it. That's a really good sling.
It is. Most of the time. 6 damage.
Comes with a laser scope.
All right, it's up to you, Burr.
All right. What part of "you take orders from me directly" are you not understanding, you simpleton? Going to have to fight him. Let's see if I'm as good with my sword as I am with my words. Nope.
Yep, pretty much.
I'm in trouble.
It's Callie's turn.
Do I know that people are fighting behind me in the cave?
I mean, you can hear it because it's a very enclosed space.
Alright. I'm going to begin running down here.
You can take your action to dash if you want.
Yes, I'm aware of Can I poke myself for 1 or 2 points of damage to keep my rage going? If I don't, it's going to fade.
You know what? Yeah, sure.
And that... yeah. Then that's my turn.
Okay. And Barrick, you're up.
All right, Barrick is going to start moving forward. Oops. Where did everyone else go? Off in the which direction? Because I can't see. Yeah.
They went south.
I shall start moving in that direction then. I'll dash.
Wait, you can't see, you said?
I can see, but I can't see where they went.
Oh, okay. So everybody's down in this direction. Follow my arrow.
Oh, they went back that way?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where the fighting is.
Well, okay. I started back there, so I went completely.
We're getting sandwiched.
And I'll Sacred Flame the guard up front, I guess.
Unfortunately, you can't see him.
In that case, I'll just dash up to the front.
Okay.
I should be able to move 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. I'm in front.
Rith is going to pick up the Mage Child and just take it with him.
Oh.
Alright. Now it's the guard's turn. He's going to take another swipe at you. Oh, he hits again. For 6 points of damage. Nick?
Alright. I am going to do some fighting. Okay, how many points of damage did I take again? 5 points?
You took 6. You took 6 this time. You took 5 before, 6 this time.
Crap, I'm in trouble. 13 minus 5 is... I can math. That's 8 minus 6. Okay, I'm at like 2 hit points. But if I run, this guy gets an attack of opportunity.
You could always disengage and run. The Acolyte... the Acolyte is going to Sacred Flame the guy who just Sacred Flamed him.
So I am going to...
It's not your turn yet.
Oh, okay.
So make a Wisdom... it is a Dex saving throw. DC 12, I think. Or no, it's DC 10. Barrick.
Sorry, DC 10 deck save?
Yep.
Oh boy. Hey, I made it.
And you're in heavy armor, right? So you have disadvantage.
That's a thing with...
Oh wait, no, you're a dwarf, right?
Yeah, I'm proficient in it.
Yeah, exactly. So you're good. You took 5 points. Sorry, no, you saved, so you're good. Theron, your turn.
I will move up next to Barrick and put my faith in my sling. How do we do that? Ooh, a 15 on the guy in front here.
All right, that is a miss.
Oh.
All right, it is your turn, Barra.
All right. By the way, is anyone else able to heal people?
Barrick is.
All right, that's good. Just a sec. I'm going to fall back 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Can I go like right there to the square to my left?
No, that's unfortunately outside of the cave.
Oh, okay. Just go back right here. And if I does he get an attack of opportunity against me?
If you use the disengage action, no.
I did not. I'm just hoping that my luck holds out and I can just run away and yell something nasty at him as I run.
You could do it the opposite way, and that way, if he dies, he doesn't get an attack of opportunity.
Okay. I'm not sure what
Dying from one psychic damage vicious mockery would be the worst.
Unfortunately, he makes a save. So you want to run now?
Yep. My AC is 14.
And he rolled a 7.
Huh? Sorry, 13.
You lucky bastard.
All right, Anders, it's your turn.
Alright. I think I'm about to get very happy that I get my rage going, because I'm going to run here. And why not? I'll throw another javelin at the rear dude.
Okay. Make your attack.
Yes.
That's a hit, and he is dead.
It's only 7 damage. The rage.
Oh,
doesn't
right.
have
Okay.
range.
So he is
He
very
put-
hurt. It caught him right in the torso, and he's really hurt.
That looks so painful. You seem to be leaking intestines.
All right, Barrick.
Barrick is going to run up in front. He's not going to bother igniting his Warhammer this time. He's just going to try and crack this guy in the face with it. I'm sorry. Is this guy a hostile?
Who?
That's
No, that's our bard.
Okay. Well, guard in the front. Smack.
It's not a hit, unfortunately.
16.
Oh yeah, 16 does hit.
Yeah, I forgot to. I really need to make a different macro for Warhammer Plus. In fact, I'm just going to do that right now.
And,
So that's 11 damage.
Nice.
And he takes that hit so hard to his face that his nose falls off.
Barrick just looks. Barrick just kind of looks at him, grins, and just says, "Got your nose."
All right. Rith
Uh,
is just going to stay with the Mage Child, and the Acolyte turns tail and dashes.
a lot of that.
Okay, now
I'll
yeah.
dashing after him and chucking my last javelin in his back, hopefully.
Okay.
Nope. Wait, I can't dash and attack. Shit. How far did he make it?
Yeah, could I move 35 feet and use my sling to hit
With
the...
disadvantage, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, I'm also running as far as I can and taking a disadvantage with the last javelin.
Nope.
All right. Callie, you want to make that shot?
Whoosh. Nope.
All right. Anybody else want to chase after him?
Can I use
the
mockery?
magic sling?
Can you use what?
Shout something and insult at him as he runs?
What's the range on Vicious Mockery?
If I move up to like right here, hit him.
You actually can, yes.
All right, so I'm gonna move to like right here, and I'm going to shout. I think you're better at running than you are at serving your deities.
And he makes a save. Barrett,
Yes.
if you want to Sacred Flame him, you could probably get in range.
Oh, I'm gonna do a bit more than that. Oh, that's a pair of dogs.
Oh, don't worry, they're secured.
Yeah, they're tied up.
I'm gonna get right there, and then I'm gonna try and guiding bolt him in the back.
Okay, go for it.
Yes.
All right, he's dead. He's dead.
Nice.
You're the guiding bolt goes through that skull thing and just fries his brain inside his skull. All right, we are out of initiative. I have no idea how you guys survived all that.
It makes the dream work.
I have
Obviously, it was all the cleric.
Isn't it always?
I'm sorry.
I have no idea how you guys survived this. When you went running in, I was like, you guys are all dead. The campaign is over. It lasted 2 weeks.
Rip dreams. Well,
So what do you guys want to do now? Let's make it like 10 minutes max because I really need to run.
I'm going to pick up my javelins and then collapse in a corner somewhere. I'm not extremely injured, but I'm definitely not feeling good.
Okay.
I want to check on the mage child, see what sort of condition he's in.
The mage child is scared as hell, but she is she's in okay condition.
I'm just gonna talk to her real quick. Tell her that her grandfather sent us to bring her home. Try to calm her down a bit.
She's sobbing and just nods.
That's a lie, right?
Not entirely. I mean,
It's halfway between the truth and the lie.
So, did we check the whole cave? Or, like, are we in a place where we can safely rest and recuperate? Or if we, we're gonna get our throat slit in the night by, like, 50 soldiers?
As you are kind of beginning to wear down, you hear horses start riding off in the distance. You get the sense that whatever was in this cave has just fled after you killed the mage.
If no one else actually saw us come in and fight, they might actually think it's that guy we said was coming.
Yes, very much so.
There was 2 guards who ran.
Yep.
We never killed those.
Yeah,
but they think
and the 2
that-
scouts.
They think that Siraculin is the one who did it. I think we're actually in a pretty good position here. I mean, if we post a guard at the doorway, then we could use this as a place to rest up, recover our HP, spells.
Yep.
Morning bright and early. And if we feed those dogs, they might even take a liking to us and be on our side.
It's worth a try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we search the cave? Are there any other horses left? Since we killed a number of people, maybe their
So-
horses are still here.
Yeah, there were 7, 8, 9 horses up front, and 4 of them would have been gone.
Okay.
So there's now a whole bunch of horses left over.
All right.
Hey, we can't walk anymore.
3 horses. Cool.
Everyone gets a horse.
Do you guys want to search this area? Do you want to search the druid?
You get a horse.
I'd want to search the druid and the cultists. You know, anyone that showed any magical aptitude.
So on the druid, you find a rod. It's more of a staff, and it's the thing that he was touching to make himself feel better. Phil,
Well, when you put it like that,
Philrun, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Okay.
And Barra, you can make one too.
What now?
Arcana check. Okay, so with that, Barra, you know that this is a staff of healing.
Nice.
Nice. Hey.
And you also know that the mage used 5 charges in the last day. 4 on himself and 1 on that horse.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Bara, you know what this is. I don't. So here you
Alright.
go.
I asked to take a look at it, and as I close look from different angles, I say, if you don't mind, I'll be holding on to this, but it's going to help us out a lot.
By all means.
All right. So who's hurting right now?
I am
I'm okay.
down 12 hit points.
All right. So I'm not feeling too great myself. So it's required. It needs attunement, right?
Yep.
I can use this right now, but in the future, when we get in a scrape like this, I can use this staff to keep us in the fight longer.
Especially since it has mass cure wounds on it.
Yep.
Great. Rub your staff against me to make me feel better, Senpai.
oh my god.
You know, if I had a nickel,
Okay. And you also find around this area, when you search this area, about 50 gold pieces worth of jewels and another 100 gold pieces in a bag. And I'm guessing you guys want to spend the night in this cave?
Yeah, after we've explored everything.
Yes. Can we jam the secret door so people can't open it from the outside?
Make an intelligence check, somebody?
I shouldn't be the one doing that.
I will do that.
You could.
I guess we'll jam the door then.
Okay.
Just at least have one less exit to worry about.
You can use the staff that, not the staff of healing, but the quarter staff that the druid was carrying, to kind of try to do that. You can get that pretty well jammed in.
Sure. Do we roll for that, or does it just?
No,
happen?
it's just I'm gonna assume that you guys are able to do that. You have tons of time. And around these fires are lit, so it's pretty warm in that area. If you want to make camp around there, it's pretty good spot.
I guess we are resting in the cave then.
All right. So I'm gonna assume you guys will rest in the cave, and we'll call it a session here.
Right. All right.
Great.
All right. How'd that go? How'd you guys feel about it?
Well, it was fun for me.
Yeah.
I had
That was
fun.
pretty good.
I'm sure I'll need to make sure I've got backup when I try to talk my way through angry armed people.
Oh man, honestly, Rith rolled twice really, really well, or that fight could have gone really badly.
Yeah, he did a lot of damage.
Yeah, low-level rangers, man, they do tons of damage. And he's got +1 weapons, so.
And then you get low-level moon druids, which just blow everything up.
Yep. So if that guy had like another turn, that would have been pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Glad I used the magic missile then.
Oh yeah, definitely. I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, use the magic missile, use the magic missile. All right.
This was great. So are we back to